Rapsodo just dropped club path and attack angle on the MLM2 Pro, but hold on. Can we actually trust these numbers? This is still in beta, so today I'm going to put it up against the Uneekor Eye Mini, the most trusted launch monitor that I own, and if the numbers don't line up, it's going to show it. Let's go jump in and find out if Rapsodo is ready to run with the big dogs, or if this beta needs a little more time in the oven. All right, so here's how we're testing this. I've got the Uneekor Eye Mini as my baseline. It's a unit I use frequently, and I truly trust the club path and the attack angle data that comes from it. I've got the units about as perfectly aligned as I can get them. Hit a few test shots to make sure that the horizontal launch angle is very, very similar. That should tell me that we're very aligned, or as aligned as I can get. And I've got the latest firmware. So same swings, same RPT balls, same shots, data side by side. I'm going to capture everything. All right, so we've got pitching wedge to start. We're using the RPT balls. And what I want you to keep in mind is we are using a camera-based launch monitor, camera-based side launch monitor, and a rear radar and camera dual launch monitor. So they do measure things slightly differently. And the data might not be perfect, but this test is really to show consistency and comparison in Rapsodo's beta period. So trying to give just a little feedback to you all on how close they are, and let's find out if it's ready. I've got pitching wedge to start. We'll hit about 6 shots, and then we'll move up through the bag. We're going to finish with drivers. I know that's the big one everybody wants to see. So let's take some shots and see how this thing is working. Plus 1.3, plus 1.5, minus 5.7, minus 6.8. Maybe a little draw there. Plus 2.6 on the path, plus 2.5 on the Rapsodo, attack angle minus 3 to minus 5. All right. Minus 4.7 on attack angle, plus 2.3 on path, and the M12 Pro plus 3.2 and minus 3.0 on the attack angle. Club path 1.1 with a minus 3.9, and on the Rapsodo we had that at a plus 2.0 with a minus 5.0. So we are seeing slight variances here in the data, but for the most part, we're seeing same shot shapes, same paths. You know, it's an in to out path. It's reading in to out path. It's a downward attack angle. It's a downward attack angle. Last shot here with the pitching wedge. That one, we had a HLA difference there. Uneekor had that launching 1.7 to the right. MLM had that launching negatively, but path-wise, we had a 1.1 inside-out path to a 1.5. Those are very similar, and a minus 3.3 to a minus 4.7. So there are going to be the occasional irregularities that we see, but this is just what it is. Well, let's move on. We'll try 7-iron, and we'll tally up the data at the end and talk about it. All right, 7-iron, we'll take 6 shots of 7-iron. See how this goes. Path of 0.2, attack angle of -4, path of 0, attack angle of -3.7. So -5.7, -3.7. I apologize. Very, very similar. Launch angle, very similar. path minus 0.6, path minus 2.5, attack angle minus 1, attack angle minus 5.5. There we go. And again, for that one, we've got a bit of a fade, path half degree across. M2 Pro's got it at 0.3 across, attack angle minus 4 to minus 2.9. Another fade. We got minus 0.4 on the Uneekor, minus 1.5, attack angle minus 4 to minus 6.6. All right, one more draw, one more plus side of the 7-iron here. Little pull draw. Plus 1.2 on the path, plus 1.0 on the M2 Pro. Attack angle of minus 2.6 to minus 4.6. So see a little difference in the attack angles, but for the most part, the paths are representing in to out when they're in to out and across the ball when they're across the ball. And there we've got a negative 0.7 path, a negative 0.9, a minus 4.7 to a minus 4.3. So, looking pretty good. Ball speed a little bit higher on the Uneekor than it has been on the M2 Pro for me. That could be a number of things. It could be radar interference, which I tend to think it is because when I use these individually, the ball speeds really seem to feel identical. But it is what it is. This is a beta. We'll just lay out the numbers and see where they go. Let's jump up, hit the 5-iron, then we'll move into a 3 hybrid and then the driver. All right, so 5-iron. We got a negative 1.8 attack angle. So across the ball 1.8. We've got a negative 2.2 on the M2 Pro. M2 Pro says a minus 3.5, and Uneekor says minus 2.5 on attack angle. So sorry, path was negative 1.8 on the Uneekor, negative 2.2 on the M2 Pro. A few more 5-irons. There we've got a positive in to out swing, 1.9 on the Uneekor, and positive 1.1 on the M2 Pro. Attack angle almost 0 on the Uneekor, and minus 2.2 on the M2 Pro. Started right, went right. So we've got a club path 1.4 in to out, but face was open. Attack angle of negative 0.9. And on the M2 Pro, it's got 0.7 in to out, attack angle negative 1.1. Very, very close numbers there. And we'll finish with your across the line pull draw. So minus 2.6 on the path for the Uneekor, minus 0.5 on the M2 Pro, negative 2.3 to negative 3 on the attack angle. Now let's try one more. Try to hit the push draw instead of the pull draw. Get a positive path on this. Positive path, but a chunky ball. There we go. Should be positive on the path. Yep, 2.8 positive. Into outswing with the minus 1.5 attack. And the M2 Pro sees it the same. Positive path, 3.4. Into attack angle is negative 2.4. So very similar on that last swing with the 5-iron. Again, seeing small discrepancies in the ball speed data. For example, that last shot, ball speed was 141, and the MLM2 Pro had that at 138. So, okay, we're gonna move into the 3 hybrid now. Same thing. Hit a few balls, see if the numbers are similar. It'd be a negative path, but let's look at it. Negative 1.3 on the path, 0.7 negative on the attack angle. MLM2 Pro, negative 1.4, negative 1 on the attack angle. Those are very, very similar. There's a big toe hook. Let's see how it handled that. So Uneekor's got that 1.5 into out, attack angle 1.9, positive. I was hit like a hit up on it. MLM2 Pro saw it the same way. Positive 2.1 on the path, positive 1 on the attack angle. So reading similarly on that toe hook miss there. Again, that's a big hook there. Path pretty square on the Uneekor, 0.2 across with a negative attack angle. MLM2 Pro had it 1 degree in to out with a positive attack angle. So they were slightly different there on the attack angles and the path. Just full of pull hooks with this thing. All right, so path almost neutral in Uneekor, same with attack angles. Both of them were minus 0.2, and the MLM2 Pro minus 0.5 to a plus 1.5. There, the path plus 0.3, attack angle 0.8, and MLM had exactly the same, plus 0.3, attack angle 0.7. So they were in sync on that one. Big toe hook again. 0.6 positive on the path and the attack angle, 0.1, 0.3 positive, and positive 0.7 on the attack angle. There we go. Minus 4.4 on the path, minus 3.9 on the attack angle. Rapsodo had it at minus 3.4 on the path, minus 3.0 the attack angle. So pretty close on the hybrid. All right, now the moment we've all kind of been waiting for is how well does it track driver specifically? Let's put it to the test, see how it tracks driver, club head, path, and attack angle. That one's got a negative 2.7 on the path, which is pretty normal for me. I'm out to in on the driver, trying to play the cut mostly, and a minus 0.3 attack angle. Rapsodo had that as negative 1.4 on the path and a plus 0.5 on the attack angle. Pretty good one there. Minus 1.7 on the path and 1.8 up on the attack angle. Rapsodo had that as plus 0.3 on the path, 1.5 on the attack angle. So path was different, attack angle was similar. Path plus 0.8 with an attack of plus 1.2. Uneekor had that as a minus 0.9 with a attack of 2.1. So a little bit of variance here near the 0 mark. fell off of that one. -2 on the path, -0.5 on the M1 Pro. Launch angle 2.9 to 2.8. So seems to still be aligned. All right, so -0.6 on the path, plus 1.5 on the M1 Pro. So we are seeing a little discrepancy on path of the driver at the moment, showing me more in to out on the M1 Pro. Spin axis near 0. We're probably more neutral on swing, so it's harder to read it. Okay. There's your big pull hook. Path 1.2 left, whereas Rapsodo's got that positive on me right there. I think when you hit them off that toe and you've got that portion like that on the face, you can get some of that twist face. It's going to have a hard time reading it. Minus to a positive there. Try to make sure this one's positive. Positive 2.2, positive 3.9 from the Rapsodo, 2.8 attack, the 2.8 attack. So those both showing positive when it was positive. Let's try to hit the cut shot. Squeeze one left, see if we get negative on both. -7.9 to a -8 on the M1 Pro. Positive 0.6, -1.5. So a little different there, but both showing an out to in path there when we exaggerate it. -6 to -5. We caught the toe there. That's where we get that hook from. -4.7 to -3.3. All right, so when we try to hit the cut, they both kind of show the cut, and they've got the path across. When we're near neutral and the spin axis is sort of near neutral, I feel like that's where we're having small discrepancies of path, whereas the ball flight is still very similar. So -2 on the path there, -1.7 on the M1 Pro. That's a good one to end on there. -1.8, -0.1, plus 1.3 on the M1 Pro, and plus 1.7. There you have it. All right, so in summary, I mean, this is beta firmware, right? So I would say early on, and you can look at shot for shot there, a couple things I noticed between my Eye Mini and my Rapsodo. Again, keep in mind, radar interference is a thing. Fan interference in the room can be a thing. Small rooms can affect it. There can be all kinds of different things that make something come up with a different reading than the other. But what I'm looking for is consistency. Is the M1 Pro showing me consistent path numbers, consistent ball numbers, consistent speed or launch? I feel like it absolutely is. I've tested the M1 Pro up against the GC Quad. I've tested it up against the GC Hawk and many other launch monitors, the Garmin. Check them out on the channel. And M1 Pro stands up against time on all the numbers. Now, for the club path and the attack angle, I felt like it was incredibly realistic and close on nearly every shot. Now, you'll see a few of those outliers as you look at the data throughout that session. But for a beta version at this stage, I'm pretty impressed. Now, the Uneekor Eye Mini also has its issues. I've got a sticker on it, and when the sticker gets covered up by a toe shot, we can have discrepancies there. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at side-by-side comparisons, which are actually very difficult to really get valuable information out of. Different units measure things from different points. This is measuring it from the side with two cameras. This is measuring from the rear with radar, where flight distance and other things are a factor. So I would guess, I would just say impressed. It felt very real. All the shot shapes looked great. And 9 out of 10 times, my path was into out, it was telling me it was into out. My path was across, it was telling me it was across. We were within a degree, plus or minus, it seemed, almost throughout the entire thing. My final thoughts, well, Rapsodo's on the right track. I mean, these are huge steps forward for the MLM2 Pro, but they've still got a little bit of dialing in to do, which makes sense when we're 70 days remaining in their beta period. I have all the faith in the world. By the time all these shots get sent back into Rapsodo's headquarters, this is going to get released to the public. This is going to be an incredibly reliable feature for the unit. And I would say, even if it were released right now, I still think it's an incredibly awesome feature. Most of the feedback was spot on, and I think you can use it to improve your game. And let me know, have you tested the new beta features yet? Drop your experience in the comments down below. Let me know your feedback. And if you want to see more detailed breakdowns like this or something different, please consider subscribing, throwing a like on the video. It really helps the Triple Bogey Golf channel grow. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to the channel members and everyone who supports. Hopefully I'll see you in a live soon on the Discord. And while you're at it, Triple Bogey merch is dropped. Pick up some merch in the Triple Bogey shop. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.